that was like the most recent thing. So I spent a lot of time doing that. Like I was marketing it like on Instagram. Because before that, like I'm like I said, I was super in tune with like mainly videography, not so
Right.
much photography. So I was kind of doing like a little bit of freelance work also, and then but I would say I spent most of my time like helping them grow that place, grow their platform too. And yeah, bro, like doing that, and then I started the podcast like almost in 2023. I started it, but it wasn't like super consistent until I would say like last year.
Okay,
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
Dude, that's really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was doing very well in El Paso as far as like just the amount of people I was able to meet through the podcast. Like El Paso, it seems like a small town, and it
No,
kind of
it's
is.
big.
Yeah, I
It's a
feel
lot
like
bigger than what I thought.
yeah,
I drove through there once. I was like, well, when people talk about El Paso, you just, for some reason, I would think of a very small city
yeah,
out by the border.
yeah.
But I drove through there. I'm like, this is huge.
No, yeah, for
It has
sure.
like 600,000 people.
Bro, at least, yeah. And that
Yeah.
I'm sure there's even more just because so many people have moved here like since especially like through the pandemic and stuff.
Right.
People who go there, they're like, "Oh shit, it's actually a big city." But it still has like a small town feel. Like you'll go, I'm sure Amarillo's kind of similar, right? Yeah.
Amarillo's whack. No, that is not. Amarillo has like 200,000 people. It's like, it's whack.
Everybody knows everybody, huh? Kind of.
It's still kind of big.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it is, but all like the big names from like
Yeah.
different schools and stuff, kind of. But it's a weird city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, El Paso's it's weird because like I said it's big, but you'll go somewhere and you'll recognize someone or like everybody's one person removed from someone as far as like
Oh.
someone like they like you have a mutual connection to
Okay,
damn near
if you
everybody.
put it that way, then yeah.
Yeah. And so like just with that, like I got to like interview like the mayor. I got to
No
interview like a
way.
lot of like really like big artists there. A lot of like cool businessmen out there. And so it was a good thing for me out there, bro. But I knew that I wanted to come out here just because I know there was so much more opportunity
Right.
as far as like people coming in and out of
Uh-huh.
Austin. And I think it was just the next step for me as a person, just
Right. Right.
internally. And so yeah, bro. I mean, I'm out here now. It's been like a month, and up until I haven't even told like the audience about like all right. So like my car got stolen yesterday.
Oh.
I'm sure I'll get more into it in a future episode, but yeah, because I was thinking to myself like, damn, this first month was like really fucking good. And I was like, I may probably jinx myself because I was like, all right, this is like really good. I'm expecting something like to like happen, and yeah, it fucking happened, dude. So
That's crazy.
yeah, bro. But thankfully, like I didn't leave anything like of super value in
Valuable.
there.
Yeah.
The only thing I like, if I would have left my camera, I would have been fucking like
I'm good now,
so
right?
sick. That what?
I'm okay now.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be good. But I left my tripod in there, and that was like the only thing. And so I literally just ordered this, and thankfully it like got here in time. So,
You could have asked me. I have one.
you know, it crossed my mind. I was
Yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
what? But nah, like thankfully Amazon got me right. Same day delivery. We're sitting down with someone who I literally just met. I would say, like it was last week, bro.
Yeah.
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 And
Less
it's
than a
just
week ago.
yeah, it's just insane. So your name is David, right?
Right. Right.
So David
Guerrero.
Guerrero. Okay. And yeah, bro. So you're originally from Amarillo, but you consider kind of Austin like your home base now.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I call Amarillo my airport. That's where
Airport.
my mom's over there. So
Got you.
I go see her and then I leave.
You leave. Okay. Yeah, that's sick, bro. And so kind of like the story behind it is like I was doing just like public interviews for the first time that were kind of going along with what we got going on here with like the most vulnerable player, just kind of keeping it centered around like mental health and just stories of people's lives and everything. And so saw David I think you might have been, I don't know if you were walking or if you're on your board, but
On the
I saw
board.
I saw you had a camera, and it's crazy, bro. Like I followed you and I was like, oh shit, bro. Like this dude's platform is actually like insane, and just his
Appreciate
work and everything. Like I went down a rabbit hole of everything you do, because I'm pretty sure I've come across your videos before, but I just hadn't I didn't know who was behind it, you know. And so just seeing that work, bro, I was like, first of all, I'm put in perspective, like Austin itself, like I would have never made that connection in El Paso, you know. And so that's just a testament to like the amount of things going on here in Austin that I was able to like come across you and everything like that. And also like it also made me kind of think about like, because what you do is you essentially you do a lot more than obviously like the social media stuff that people see, but like some of your main videos, like you are going up to like strangers really. And I really have respect for that, bro, because that was my first time doing public interviews, and
really?
It was the hardest thing. Like it was I was so out of my comfort zone. So like I'm just curious, bro, like first of all, like just to backtrack a little bit, what made you get into like photography, and what was like the motivating factor behind that?
Yeah, I've always been like a naturally driven creative person. I've been driven by art and stuff. My first form of art that I fell in love with was drawing portraits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was always eyes and the portraits. And that was back when I was in my junior year. And fast forward a few years later, after I graduated, I was always a fan of photography. And at the time, Instagram was kind of popping with a lot of like the long exposure photos of like cars, you know, with light painting. And so I got like really inspired. Went to Best Buy, bought a camera. I remember my mom telling me, she was like, because we grew up poor, just context. So that mentality is you got to go to school, you got to go to college. Anything else is just not going to contribute to anything. Yeah. So I remember getting my camera and my mom asking like, "Are you sure about this? Like, why would you buy that?"
Yeah. And what were you doing at that time, like for money?
I had just graduated, so I wasn't doing anything.
Okay, yeah. You were just going to school.
Yeah. I think I was working at a gas station or something like that.
Got you.
Nothing crazy, but honestly, I just didn't care. I just you know what, I'm just gonna buy. And you know, that was like the first leap into photography. Fast forward a few years later, I mean, you know, a lot of y'all know, when you get a camera, the first, like, if you're not like all committed all the way, you'll like get inspired, put it in your back for 3 months, and then get inspired again, bring it out. So I did that for like almost like 6-7 years.
Got you.
Of just like that constant, you know, getting inspired, taking it out, shooting, and then putting it back in my bag.
Yeah.
But every time I did that, it was like a rep. It's kind of like you're working out.
Yeah.
So every time I got my camera out, I'd figure out different settings. So it wasn't for nothing. It all accumulated towards something, and that something was this content that I do now.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago.
So how old are you, by the way?
How old do you think I am?
Well, I read you were 25, so I don't know how long ago was that.
Yeah, that was. I need to update that.
Okay.
I'm 27 now.
27. Okay.
So I was 24 when I started.
Got you.
I'll be 28 this June, so about 3 years and a half since I started. And when I started, I was like, dude, I was going through it, dude, because I was 24. Everyone around me had kids. Everyone was getting married. Everyone had careers or something going for them. I didn't have nothing. I was going from job to job. I was doing Uber. I was just trying to figure it out. I was trying to do something, but I just kept praying, because I'm a big believer in God. Okay. And so I just kept praying. I kept trying to figure something out. And my cousin, she's a pastor here, but she asked me, she knew like I've done like some like photos for them. They weren't good, but she, you know, she was like, "Hey, one of our members is getting married. Would you like to do like the wedding?" And I don't shy away from opportunities. I was like, "Sure, why not?" Yeah. I was nervous, but I was like, "Why not?" Yeah. First thing I did, what lenses do I need? What light? Everything. So I go to Precision Camera, and I rent a flash, lens, 2 lenses, anything that I need. I just rent it out, and after that shoot, it like something within me kind of just like lit. Yeah. I got really inspired because I was like, I literally winged this, and it's not bad. Like the photos were not bad. They weren't great. Yeah. But they weren't bad.
And it was a smooth shoot, because from my understanding, like I've always been, first of all, like I've been nervous to just do photography in general, but even doing a videography gig for a wedding, I'd be nervous just because it's a totally different.
100%.
Like you can't just go in with your camera already.
Right,
like
right.
This is a special day for someone, and like there's one opportunity to get this. It's not gonna happen again. So like the pressure that comes with that, like
100%.
Yeah.
And you're always, and for me, I'm very timid, especially back then. I've matured a lot more, but especially when I was younger, I was very timid. I was always like making sure I did my best and not don't like mess with people. So I was always like really anxious about that. But I did the shoot, and I was like really impressed that I didn't do that bad of a job. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go all in. So I sold all of my gear, went all in, got me this Sony A7 III used, and it's crazy how things happen. It's crazy how like everything just happened, like to support that.
Yeah.
The guy I bought the camera from the Facebook Marketplace. The guy I bought the camera from was a videographer, and he actually hired me for a few second shooters.
Oh shit!
Like so, like that helped me. I did like 5 or a few more than 5, like just like gigs with him. So it was so cool. And then other opportunities. I went to Fashion Week. I shot over like 2,000 to 5,000 photos, and I had to edit every single one of them. Again, they're all reps. Every time you try something and fail, it's just a rep. I always tell people it's worse not to try something than to try something and fail, because what you learn along the process is priceless. It's it's very valuable. But just to keep a short story, I a lot of things happen, and I've always found like that. Okay, I don't want to lose my train of thought.
No, you're good.
But I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, where I wanted to focus. Once I decided I wanted to do portraits, I'm like, okay, I need to practice. What do I do? And I didn't feel comfortable asking family, and I didn't really have many friends here in Austin because I was still kind of fresh. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask strangers.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, I felt more comfortable asking strangers than anyone else because they had no expectations. They had nothing. So I just went and started asking strangers for a photo. And if you go to my Instagram all the way down, you'll see a bunch of stills. There was no video. It was just me asking them.
Yeah. And this was like downtown Austin?
Yeah, downtown.
Yeah, okay. How long ago? So like you say like 3 years ago?
It was 20. So I started, I believe, 2022, January. I think I got my camera December of 2021.
Got you.
So it was like maybe the first year, like actual year after COVID. And so, yeah, I just like really got inspired taking photos of strangers. Then TikTok came around. So I don't know if you remember, but TikTok, before it was TikTok, it was Musical.ly.
Yeah.
And I remember that because my sister was doing like weird
like dance
TikTok,
videos and shit.
Dance videos. And then it got rebranded to TikTok, and it was slowly transitioning into what it is now at the time. I forgot who recommended me to get it, or I kept seeing it about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to download it.
Yeah.
Like, why not? I'm like, I'm just going to check it out. And I did. I noticed it was a lot different than, Musical.ly.
Yeah.
So I looked, and I was like, oh, crap, this is different. This is cool. So I went on the search bar because I'm like, okay, I want to try content. I'm like, why not? Because at the time, my goal was to be a wedding photographer. Like, that was the pinnacle of, like, photography.
Damn, yeah.
For me, because I'm a people person. I like talking to people. That's why I like doing Uber. Uber was the only job that I never got bored of.
Really?
Because you talk to people, and I love talking to people. So I can go back right now and do Uber. Like, that's, like, I really enjoyed Uber.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. And so I just, listen, what was I at?
So you had just gotten your camera, and you were kind of starting out with being in downtown Austin. You wanted to take photos of strangers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So after all that, I found a trend. It was street photography, because I went on, because this is what I recommend people who want to get into any type of social media. Just go on like the viral platforms or the big platforms, and just look up whatever you want to get at. It's a makeup, photography, videography, whatever it is, and just look at all the top videos and see what resonates more with you. So I went on TikTok, and I was like, street photography, portrait. I did everything, and then I saw street photography style that I do now. However, they were doing third person. So there's this guy. He's like the OG. His name is Alex Stamp. Alex Stemp. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing third person, which is someone would be recording him, and you can see him, right?
Yeah.
But there was only one other person that I saw doing POV, and that person was Danny DgPhoto. He doesn't post as much anymore, but he's still like someone that we're still friends.
Yeah.
But he was the first person I saw doing it. He's so unique with his content, so cool. So me kind of going that route, it was just so different, like styles.
Yeah.
So I was like, because at the time I was already doing it. I was asking strangers. I just didn't have a GoPro.
Yeah.
So I went and I just bought a GoPro and then just started winging it again, just trying to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I just kept going and dude, I was so inexperienced. I had no idea about the about the formats, 9x16 4, but I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So I was recording
horizontally.
Yeah. I still do, but now I do that because of my style.
Yeah.
But I was posting it horizontal. I wasn't posting it 9x16 because I didn't know. And then just things you learn along the process, and and then I just continued to post, and then things just kind of progressed ever so slightly over time. And that's kind of how I started. I meant to not make it dragged out too long, but
dude. I mean, that's what we're here for, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for that. This is your story, and that's it's an amazing. And people think like they see your platform now, and they just see like your following and the type of engagement you're getting, and they're just like, that's what they see, but they don't see like you were doing wedding photography before this. You were going up to strangers when it wasn't necessarily like cool to be doing that, you know?
Right.
And so like there's a lot of hours and time that you put into it, and that's amazing, bro. And so like when did you realize, or was it a specific situation when you realized like, oh shit, this is really resonating with people, like I can actually make like a living doing this?
Dude, I never really thought about it like that. I always, so my goal getting into the content was portraits. Like, there's this guy named Semka. He's from Russia. He's the one that photographs a lot of women from Russia. Yeah. Pretty girls.
Got you.
His style is amazing. If you look at his like portraits, he's so good at like just mastering the the editing of the face, making it look, natural with bad lighting or anything.
Yeah.
And it's that really inspired me. I'm like, so my mentality going into it is, if they can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
So can I. I can do it too. So that was something that really drove me when I saw Danny, because at the time Danny was like blowing up, millions and millions of views. Because I'm sure you know this, but when you get that little hot spur, everything around that time frame is just fire.
Blows up.
Yeah. Everything, every video before that and after that is just blowing up, and then it slowly kind of cools down to your normal level.
But that's crazy.
And so Danny was just like blowing up like crazy. I was like, crap. So that really inspired me. Like I was like, dude, I have to like if he could do it, so can I. And it's not just because of him. It's because if anyone, I always think that way. If anyone else can do it, there's no reason why I can't. And so that's just what I carried over, and it kind of shifted over towards content as well, following and like making money. Again, that wasn't really my goal, but thank God, like after the first up to like the 9 months, I was finally able to stop doing Uber and just focus on that.
Really?
And I was able to travel. New York changed my life.
Yeah.
I love New York.
And so you now make a living like doing this street photography.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So you're making, just for context, and for myself too, bro. Like, so you're able to make a living off of literally like taking the portraits that you love and that inspire you,
Yeah.
Wow. And this is through Instagram, through YouTube, through TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, something I recommend every person who wants to get into content creation is post everywhere. Post in every single platform. It doesn't matter. Like, stop with those negative, with that negative mindset. People always tell me, oh, I just get no engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think. Just grab the video you're already posting and just post it on there.
Yeah.
That the reason why I have such a big following on YouTube, and I did on Facebook, but the reason why is because I caught the wave. That's all it is. I just got lucky. Sure, my content's good, and I still would have had a following because I was able to build the Facebook again up to, I'm at 200K. It was at 1.8 at 1 mil.
Yeah.
At one point.
Damn.
But yeah, so like I was able to, build it again. But I just listened to everyone because at the time TikTok was the main thing. Instagram was coming up with Reels, Facebook as well, and then YouTube with Shorts. But it still wasn't a thing the way it is now. So I caught that big wave of everyone going on there, and it's just like boom. I mean, my YouTube has like 2 mil.
Yeah, I've seen that
from Shorts, dude. Like just from Shorts, from just posting the video I'm already posting, and just redirecting that to YouTube. Dude, so many people, I can guarantee this, so many people missed out.
Yeah,
they just didn't post, and I can assure you, other people probably told them to, and it just didn't.
Yeah,
and they just got left behind.
Yeah.
So it's either you hop on or you get left behind. That's as simple as that. If it's not going to be you, it's going to be someone else. So I want that to be me.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm like, I want to be there.
Yeah. And that makes sense, bro. And also from my perspective, and maybe this is just me, but like, I want to see what you think about it. Like, because there's a lot of trends and always things that like people are trying to do to like kind of go viral. Mm-hmm. How do you balance that and balance like staying true to like your creativity and like what you like, staying genuine to who you are and what you want to put out into the world, you know?
Honestly, I think that's why I have such a big following, because I'm like genuine, and I don't give off those vibes, because there are no such vibes. Like I love what I do. It's all genuineness, and I think being saturated with that type of content all the time, of people just giving you somewhat viral stage stuff all this freaking time. I came in with a fresh feel, because at the time, a lot of those street videos, street photography videos and videography videos, they would clickbait. They would post the whole interaction and then make you wait another day for the video or photos. You remember those?
Some
of them still do that nowadays for like other content, and they don't like they just make you wait. And it's so annoying. So it creates 2 videos. So when I started posting everything on one, I remember the comments are like, "Thank you for posting the photos on the same video," because some of them would they'd make another video
for sure,
kind of highlighting the interaction and then the photos. So it's kind of like what you offer. And honestly, I just feel like I just got in at the right time. I didn't think of any of that. I just went and started posting, and things kind of just fell into place.
Yeah, hell yeah. And do you kind of, when you look at like the landscape right now, do you feel like there's a certain thing that is gonna pop off, or something that definitely people should be like doing right now, or are you just kind of like in the moment?
For content, it's hard to say. Because content's always changing and is really unpredictable. Really unpredictable. You never know what's gonna catch fire. The wave with live streamers. That's like the thing right now. But you never know. You never know. And that's why you have to just post. If you have an idea, just post it. Something I recommend people to do is create a new channel where no one that you know, no friends, no one knows. Just you. And just post freely. You'll be at ease with your mind. You won't be worried about what other people think. You'll be relaxed. You can post for fun. Love doing that. That's what I did. I created another thing, and I just just started posting stuff that I like, that I want to do. I want to try. Some of the stuff is dumb. But again, they're all reps. I would not be here. That opportunity of catching TikTok and all those catching the wave of Reels and Shorts, I would have never got to that point if not for every other decision before that was other people would call dumb or mild. I always did a bunch of little stuff that other people would have dismissed, because I'm curious. I'm like attentive, and I'm adventurous. I want to try things out. If they don't work then, who knows? Maybe not now, but in the future, you never know. So just me having that mindset, all of those decisions prior came together and made me ready for that opportunity. And that's where I'm at now. I'm doing the same thing. I'm learning different things. I'm trying to get into video, posting, cinematic stuff. And those are all reps. They're all I'm always, every single day, I'm like, I want to be a better person in every way, shape, or form. That's just always my mentality. So I'm always carrying that over. And eventually everything, I feel like there's a big, there's a lot of opportunities out there with with everything. I think with AI, I think AI is huge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think it's scary, but I think there's like some hidden gems out there. I think there's gonna be like some crazy stuff coming up, and it's rather you get on board, kind of same thing. Either you get on board, take advantage of it, or you get left behind.
Someone else as well. Yeah.
Yep. So like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm always open minded about things, and I remember I was talking to my friend a few days ago. I told him about this about AI, and like they immediately thought I was referring to something with like photography. I'm like, nah, like I love what I do, but I don't see that correlation right now. Like I'm thinking something just some random business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like there's something out there. He was kind of like shocked because his mind was just like, okay, this. But see, I just like to think that like open. I'm like open-minded about different things. Maybe that answered your question a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I love that because for me, like I'm still in that process of like I'm still kind of growing my platform, and definitely like just trying to be consistent with it. I think I kind of battle with like talking about certain things that I know will get more clicks usually, but kind of not for the reasons I would want them to. So that's why that's something I kind of struggle with is like I know there's probably certain things I can do that will kind of stir the pot, and I know that will like get probably a little bit more attention, but it's just never been something I'm okay with posting. And so like
I respect that.
Yeah. And so maybe it's kind of hurting me in certain areas, but I don't know. I feel like
you gotta be true to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And so I like just especially off of your story, like it, I know because first of all, I genuinely love doing it. So I'm going to do it no matter what, regardless. But I know also just I feel like the way the world works and what you like, the way things work, like I know if I just continue to be consistent with it and stay true and just continuously get better, obviously, and see what works and what doesn't, like I'm confident that I can get to that point, But I'm sure, as you know, it's like it's not the easiest all the time. So right. I mean, you were talking about that you had just recently gone through like a pretty tough like burnout stage. So for you, like what was that experience like for you, and what kind of helped you get out of that?
Before I answer that, I want to piggyback off what you mentioned about you not wanting to post things that you know is going to do well.
Yeah,
I've had some like encounters or like, okay, how do I put this? I don't like I approach females all the time, but I don't like approaching those overly beautiful that like know they're like beautiful and they're going out type of because I don't know, like and even some like that are like over that could be too explicit on like clothing and stuff like that. Like I try to avoid that. There's a few that people would go in there and call me out, but I go for personality, and that's what I go for. Vibe. I can feel the vibe. And there's another point you touched on that made me want to ask a question. It just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
But
well, I was kind of like alluding to like just certain things that I might not be comfortable with posting because I'm not super, like, I know it probably stir the pot a little bit and get to people to kind of click on and do certain, like, engage with it more. But at the same time, like, I know when I click share, I know it's not something I'm the most comfortable with about, and the way people are gonna perceive me after I post it,
Right.
And but yeah, it's something hard to battle with because you're like, fuck, like I do want this to grow, but at what cost,
I remember now what I was gonna say, and dude, you got to be true to yourself. And again, when you stay true to yourself, you at the same time, you're also creating you're getting mentally stronger when you refuse to do stuff like that because you're kind of building an armor, and in your mind, you focus back on what you do, you start strengthening yourself, right? So another big thing why I am where I'm at is because I was super consistent. I posted every single day for over a year, every single day, did not miss a beat, every single day, and I made sure I posted it. That's how consistent I was, and that forces you to do good. Because especially if you're a creator, you start seeing a bunch of things that you could do better. There's a guy by the name of Safi. Safi, you might know, you might not, but he does content in LA. He's from LA, and his content can be like, at first, I mean, he's changed so much, and I'm proud of him. I mean, he's
so you know him, you know these guys personally. Like you met
Safi,
a lot.
yeah, and Danny as well, yes. And so for Safi, his content could be, he could be erratic sometimes with his messages that he posts. But that's part of who he is. He's staying true to himself, which I respect. And one of the things about Safi is he's a hard worker, incredibly hard worker. Dude goes out and creates content and can like post 3, 5, 10 videos a day and still have weddings going on and then commercials, whatever he does. Like, he's such a hard worker, and he kind of just like really forced himself into it. He really just like, because there were some videos that were kind of controversial that he's posted and people were like, gave him hate, but he just kept going. He didn't even listen to him. He just kept posting, and now he has like over 600K followers on IG, and then he's getting a lot of love for like, from supporters, rightfully so.
And does he do like similar content?
He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He does he's unique.
Yeah.
He gets inspired and he tries the content out. So he's had a few really good ones with giving strangers a disposable camera. He's not the Life of Film guy, the main one that started that trend, but he's one that like he does it a lot more than the film guy. Only posts like every, like, I don't know, a few months or whatever, but Safi posts all the time, and that's why he's at where he's at. He does he's on stranger videos, but with videos rather than photos. He's on dogs ones, like Justin from Vancouver. I mean, this guy is he does everything. And every time he's doing it, he's building reps. He's like strengthening himself, and he's getting stronger mentally, and he's getting better at different things. So I respect him. If I had his work ethic, I'd be so I really respect Safi and people like that. Again, consistency will get you further than anything else. If you're just consistent, that's it. Consistent is everything. Literally consistent. You work out every single day. Even if you don't work out, fine, you're going to see muscles. Even if it's not like the correct way, you're going to see progression. And if you don't, then you don't. You know what I mean? So like, consistency is huge in what we do.
Definitely.
Because if it's not going to be you, it's going to be someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see that. Because, bro, like, even I had never started posting every day until like a few months ago. And now it's just because of this move, like, it's so much has gone on. And so I'm trying to get to a point where, and I will, like, eventually. It's just with work, just the hours and shit. Sometimes I just come home, like, because I'm doing like service industry stuff, so I work like at a bar and then like a restaurant. So that shit sometimes is like, fuck, I come home just like, god damn, I need to edit this shit. But
I get it, bro.
Yeah. And so, but definitely I can see, like, for the time I was posting every day, like even just on TikTok, I love TikTok because even though it's like that first wave of people that like really took advantage of it, I feel like even though that's kind of gone now, you can still, the engagement you get is just, it's random people, which I love. Because I started off with, like, I only have like 400 followers, but I gained those in like the first 2 weeks I started posting like consistently, so I can see where that can get you,
Right.
Instagram I feel is a little different for sure, just how it works. I feel like, for me, I feel like a lot of it's based on like who you know and like how popular you are until like you really hit that algorithm, like and so, but I mean, just seeing your videos, bro, like some of them have gone ridiculous, bro. So like and for like, was it just one random one, or did it build up into that?
It built over time.
Okay.
So my TikTok was the one that built over time, the more consistently.
Got you.
The other ones were like, but TikTok was really consistent with the following. I remember my first video that went viral. It was Casey Neistat.
You took a photo of him? Oh,
in South by Southwest.
Damn.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
He was the first person that went viral.
Yeah.
He got like 200K views on on TikTok, I was like, bro, what is going on?
I was gonna say, when you see that, like when you see the algorithm like working like that, I'm sure it's like a crazy feeling. Like,
yeah, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's good, but also the withdrawal sucks as well. So when you get like those like videos, you're in high, and then you know this, it's never just straight up.
Yeah.
You go and you have a good movement, then you can't, your engagement, your videos just don't do well.
Yeah.
And then you question your whole existence.
Yeah, like what am I doing wrong, you know?
No, your whole existence.
Yeah.
I'm like, my life is over. This is it. This is the end of David.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm gonna go work at McDonald's.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's exaggeration. But at the same time, you have those really negative, emotions. You're like, crap. But I just have this habit of not giving up and just keep pushing forward. I don't really like gauge into like the whole like negative emotions. I just gotta keep pushing forward. And yeah, so TikTok built over time, and then it just kept building 30K, 40K. And I didn't think nothing of it, bro. Like, I'm the type of person who I feel like I need to be, like, I don't know. I feel like there's something, I don't want to say weird, but there's something about me where like I see that this is good, but it's not, like, there's levels to it. And I'm like, I just have like one strong suit and that's it. Like, everything about me is weak. Like, it's not enough at all. I was not content with it. And it's funny because there's other people that would call themselves influencers with like 10K followers only on TikTok. I'm like, bro, you're not an influencer, bro. Like, I'm not an influencer.
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people would say yes. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think of it. But
there's levels to this shit, basically.
100%. 100%. And then, dude, it took me forever for me to say that I was a pro photographer because I felt like I had to live to that. Like, just because I had a following, just because I had something, didn't mean I was a pro at it. I was good at it, but not a pro. It took me a while for me to say, yeah, because people would ask me, are you a professional photographer? And I'd be like, aspiring to be, because I was working towards that, but I didn't feel like I measured up to that. Now I can confidently say, yes, I am a pro photographer.
So what was that turning point for you then?
It just, honestly, I can't say the exact moment, but it was just mostly over time. Like, through a lot of like trials, a lot of shoots, a lot of just like mental struggles that I kind of came in terms with them. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay, I'm good.
But you felt that internally. It's not like you were just saying it and you didn't believe it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It built time. It took time for you to be 100%. Like, you know what? Nah, I am professional.
100%.
Yeah.
And it took a minute. It just goes to show how my mind works. Like, I need to, like, I just have high expectations and I want to get to those. Like, I see myself, my future self, where I want to be up here. And I'm like here. So there's so much in between that I have to work on. And that just drives me. And I'm just like, I just feel like there's a lot. And I'm always like praying to God. Because again, I have to give my faith a big credit on why I'm here. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't. It just, that's a big reason. It kept me sane, bro. Like, all through that, like, depressions and everything. Like, before, you know how I told you I had a rough time? That was your other question that I didn't like dive into too much.
Like you kind of going through that rough time, you know?
Through that rough time, bro, before that, I didn't believe in depression. Before that moment, I every time people would say I'm depressed, I didn't understand it. There's part of me that would try to like mock him and make fun of them. I was young, but I didn't understand it until that moment, dude. It sucked, bro. It's like you have no, like, your mindset, everything is going against you. You feel like you're getting crushed by your emotions. Like, your mindset, there's nothing positive about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but it sucks. But amidst all that, I knew I was going to get out of it. I knew it was just a matter of time before I got out of it. And that my faith in God just drove me through it. Over time, things started, progressing. At the time, I already had my camera, and I was kind of like practicing shooting and stuff like that. And I got out of it, bro. And dude, that was such a pivotal moment, like my mental health.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
It's just 3 years ago, at the beginning of my doing the content.
And what events or what thoughts or whatever? What led you to being that moment in the first place?
It was I I had nothing going for me, bro. I was doing Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I had tried, so I went to school for welding. I went to, I did a construction. Have you seen the Indeed building downtown?
Yes.
I built that.
For real? Shit.
I did the layout for the windows.
Fuck yeah.
So I did that building. It was a cool experience. It was really fun. But not for me. 3 months in, bro, I was like, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. This sucks. But I was patient. I was just like, okay, let's just wait. I'm going to keep praying on it. 9 months in, things happened. I left and I started doing sales because I'm a people person.
Yeah.
Love doing sales. But a year later, doing that for like a year, it just wasn't, you know, for sales, you have to have the right product, the right manager for it to work. If you don't have that, maybe there's other things I'm missing, but if you don't have that, it's gonna break apart. And it just didn't work. A year later, I was just Ubering, and that's what kind of caused everything, my mindset to just really attack me. Cousins, family, friends, everyone, bro, married or have kids or have like a career or something. I had nothing at all. Another depression thing was I would come here and I would do Uber, and I would Uber all these like wealthy people, or these people who have things going for them, or like you know, it's just comparing yourself to other people.
For sure.
Ubering other UT students who have things going for them.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, and so like, you start comparing yourself. You're like, crap. You're like, everyone's up here, and I'm just like down here. Like, I'm nothing. What am I? You know what I mean? So you have all these like really negative emotions, and I think if I didn't have God, I don't know, maybe really negative thoughts would have crossed my mind, but because my faith is so strong, they never happened. It was just more about, okay, I'm getting out of this. It's just a matter of time. That's all it is, just a matter of time. And I got out of it, thank God. But it was a crazy experience.
Yeah. No,
really
I can imagine. I mean, I've been there, bro, and that's kind of what led me to start like doing the podcasting and the platform, because I struggle with anxiety, and I've been depressed before, for sure. But the main thing that really like crippled me at one point to where like I couldn't. Like I went to the hospital a few times because it was just, it's like I couldn't control it, because like I knew I had anxiety, but it was much more, it was like a physical thing, and it just got in the way of me being able to function normally and just be social and work and focus on shit.
Right.
And just getting past that, it kind of instilled in my mind, where it's like, if I can get past this, and I can do anything I want to, because this shit was like the hardest thing I ever had to overcome, you know?
Right.
And so interviewing people or posting on social media, like, yeah, it's hard, but bro, compared to what I had to go through, like this shit, come on now. So, and when you say like, I relate to what you say so much when you say like, you have these like expectations and these goals of yourself, and you see yourself like in the future, and then like right now you're right here, and it's just like the most motivating thing ever. But at the same time, like, I don't know if you experience this, but it's also a lot of pressure, because like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be, but for whatever reason, it's like when you're constantly thinking about it, it's like, fuck, what if I know I can reach it, but there's always those little moments where it's like, fuck, like, when or how, you know? And so it's,
dude, I feel that again. I don't want to like, I never try to be pushy with religion. I never try to be pushy with, because I never do. I always just speak on my experiences. Like, I'm never going to be like, yo, that's wrong. Nope. You're going to help. Never. It's more about how it helped me. And I feel that for me, having that mindset and just having that person that I want to be up here, my mindset is, I'm gonna get there. Some way or form, I'm gonna get there. And I just feel like I see like God working in my life all the time. Like when I'm here, things just happen and just rebound. Like, dude, it's crazy when I think about like and reflect about every situation there was always like a blink or like some support there that I didn't see. And sometimes I saw it whenever things got rough, but God never let me like go through something that would completely break me. It was like I need to go through things. I need to hurt or you know, so he can mold me and I can get like, because when you hurt, it's when you can get molded. You know, it's like clay. You need it to be like moist or like things before, so you can mess around with it before it hardens, right? So I always tell God, I'm like, God, like my heart's open to you. Work in my life, mold me, do what you need to do. But I want to be a better person. I want to be up here. I hate being weak. I'm so weak. I'm so this and that. I'm like right here, and I hate it. And so I'm like, it's either that or not.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you good. It's either that or like nothing. You know what I mean? So like, I guess just, you know, I always think I'm like, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
The idea of not making it, I don't know.
Does it even cross your mind? Because I was going to say, like, the idea of not making it, it's like, it doesn't scare me, or I don't have a fear of it, but you know, I kind of, sometimes I work out of fear, bro. And I don't know, it's a very motivating thing, because it motivates me to do so much. And I think fear could sometimes be the biggest driving factor in a lot of things.
100%.
But it's also not the healthiest all the time. So like for you, like, when you think about not reaching it, like, do you even think about that?
Not really. I don't really think about not making it, because I'm always like, I get so focused on the now that the goal to get there is, everything drives towards it. But I'm so focused on the right now that I don't really give myself enough time to think of it, if that makes sense. I'm like, so like, I have my hands full with now, and where I'm at now, that I don't. Yeah, it just hasn't really processed. Like,
for sure.
Now that you're saying that you're asking me, the question is here, but it doesn't like get to here.
Yeah,
it just kind of boom and then boom.
Yeah,
you know, like I hear you, but like it, I don't question. I hope I don't start questioning myself after you ask me, but no, I don't.
That's good.
I just have so many things that like, I have my own pressures already. Like every single day, I'm like, crap. Like one of my biggest struggles is procrastination, and I have my hands full with that, bro. Like every single day, I'm like, I need to get better. Like I hate procrastinating. I hate it, and it's just the way my mind works. Like, oh, dude, I hate it so much. Like I want to be this and that. So when I see you having a nice apartment, or other people being like a specific, having a specific characteristic that I desire to be like, I'm like, crap, like I want to be that. So you know what I mean? So I'm so focused on these little details about my life and how I want to be, that I'm not really focused on like that big of like, what if I don't make it?
Yeah.
What if I fail?
For sure.
I can't fail. I need to work on now. Like right now, it's just like, I need to focus on what I can right now. Things will work out. But my biggest thing is always work on the foundation first. Work on the foundation. Strong. Make your foundation really strong. I'm gonna give you this analogy. I hope I can make it to where you understand. But in welding, you know what welding is, right?
Yeah.
So in welding, when I went to school in welding, there was a test that we had to do. In this test, we had 2 3-inch thick plates, steel plates, and the ends of it, we had to do a bevel. So it'd be, instead of straight down, it'd be a bevel. And each corners would come in like this. So what we had to do, we had to weld in between. And because the steel was so thick, you had to do like 5 passes. I don't know how. It's been a while. I don't know how long it takes, between 3 to 7 passes, before it got filled. But you know, for welding, every time you weld, there's a thing called slack. A slack happens when, I don't know the science behind it. It's been a while, but basically, just a piece of metal over the metal that you welded that you have to like remove. It's just trash. It doesn't, at that point, it's just trash. So after each weld, you have to get it in there and like brush it off, clean it off. But if your welds aren't good, there's this thing called like, I forgot what it's called, but there's like cracks or little edges in the corner that the slack gets stuck in there. It just sneaks in. So you have to go in there and do the extra step of getting the grinder and grinding it out. It's a whole other step that you would not have to do if you did it right the first time, right? So if you get lazy and you don't cover it up and you're like, whatever, just a little bit, and then you just proceed to weld over it, and you keep going and going, and let's say you do that a few times, and you just keep going over it. At the end, once you filled it all the way to the top, we have to the professor would make us cut the strips. He'd make us cut 3 strips, because remember the plate was like this long. So after that, he'd bend them right on the weld. So if the weld can sustain the pressure, it won't break. But if you didn't do a good job of cleaning those things, then it'll break. Basically, is I like to translate that into life. If you don't work on your foundation, on like making sure that all the steps are taken account for, even if you make a mistake, go in there and like really understand it. Really go in there and figure out how you can get better. What did you do wrong? Either whether that's a relationship with another person or with yourself or with your actions, whatever the case might be, you have to make sure you work on your foundation, because if you don't, when the test comes, you're gonna fail and you're gonna be broken, and it's gonna happen over and over and over again. So I'd rather work on the foundation, take my time in the foundation. My welds were bad at first, so almost after every single weld, I had to go in there with the grinder and do all this extra steps, super annoying, but I passed. I passed because I took that extra step, that extra initiative that others would have just disregarded.
Yeah.
The same thing you have to do in life. You just have to focus on your steps. You have to focus on your foundation. And when a trial comes, you'll be stronger. And you just keep building upon that. And after so many reps, you get better and better and better and better and better. You keep refining yourself. And it's such a cool feeling. So it's tough, dude. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, this road that I'm on, especially with content, dude, it's like, it can be really lonely as a content creator, and as me traveling so much, doing this, like Safi was saying, it's like, it's lonely, like, you know how it is. I'm like, yeah, dude, I get it. Like,
for sure.
So like, yeah, dude, it's just, I mean, you go through a lot, man, like mentally, as a human, even if you don't do creation, you just go through a lot up here, especially with like, social media and like so much information out there, so much that can really just, if you're not like, you don't have a good footing, it can really, get you offside or make you fall or stumble, whatever.
For sure. No, yeah, and when you say like you're, I love that analogy, by the way, bro. And and did someone put it to you that way, or something you thought about over time? Yeah, that's fucking fire.
I remember contemplating on it whenever I was welding. I remember I was like, crap, this is like live, bro. Yeah. Like this is legit like live.
100%.
It was crazy.
I love that. And how do the different environments you travel to like influence your creativity? Is that a big thing, or like when you're in Rome? Because you went to Rome,
bro.
Yeah, Rome, New York, Austin. Like I'm sure being in those different environments has to.
The one that really does the most and really fuels my creativity to the max is
New York.
Dude.
I've only been there for a day, bro, and I wanna go out there.
New York has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Like, I love New York. New York could be tied with Austin. It's like in home, just because, it just really matches me. It just really matches me and my persona. Like, I can be like, some people hate it. Some people just don't like all the erratic, all the like noise, all the people. I love it, dude. It's just such a vibe. It's so unique. It's just so much culture, the people, everything. I love it. And I have my second trip to New York. That's when everything kind of went crazy for me on Instagram.
Yeah.
I had 2 of the pinned videos on my IG. Those were from that first trip to New York.
Yeah.
But that first, bro, I must have got like millions and millions of views that first, for that trip. It was insane.
Yeah. And was it just like obviously you had been doing it for a while, but you think it was like just the character and the backdrop that New York is that just resonated with so many people?
Yeah, it was just the people, bro.
Yeah.
Like the guy, Uncle Bob, he's a mafia boss guy.
Oh shit.
So like he's not a mafia boss.
Yeah.
People in the comment section were like, oh, that's that's mob boss or whatever. So and you know what's crazy, bro? Like all the videos that you don't think are gonna do good do really well. I didn't think that one was gonna do well. I just didn't feel good about it, but because I was consistent and I made sure to post every single day, I was forced to post it.
Yeah.
I posted it, bro. It went viral. It went viral on TikTok. It went viral on Facebook, on YouTube. It was just a viral video, dude.
Yeah.
Fiola, my most viewed video ever. On YouTube, it has over 100 million views.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
This Albanian girl, she's pinned, a lovely lady. And yeah, dude, and then and a few more. There was a couple, Sweden couple. That one went viral. I think that was my first viral one for that trip. And then the other ones kind of followed. But dude, that had like 5 to like 7 viral hits from that trip alone, back to back almost. So it was a really successful trip. And you know, and man, I wish.
Would you live out there?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, I technically kind of have because the past 2 months, you haven't lived in Austin through the summer, have you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hot as fuck,
It's
isn't it?
hot,
Yeah.
bro. It's insanely hot. But the past 2 years, I ran away to New York.
Got you.
I was in New York for the whole summer for the past 2 years.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna try to do that again this year if things, God willing, things.
You
know.
just get a place, or you have friends out there? Or?
Last year, what I did was I got a sublet.
Oh, okay.
For 2 months. It was amazing. It was a cool experience. So yeah, I try to go as much as I can.
Yeah.
I really want to go back, and I'm going to Europe in a few weeks.
Oh shit.
And I plan on being there for 2 months. That might shift because, bro, I'm like so flexible. I'm so open. Like this is just me just planning stuff out.
Yeah.
And then opportunity came for mid-April, so I might have to kind of delay that a little bit. But
that's sick, man.
But things just happen, bro.
Yeah.
Things just kind of come on, and like I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know, but I'm just when you just keep pushing forward, bro, and you just keep trying things out, the right people, the right opportunities just come by. Like it just happens over and over again. And as you keep growing, new things keep happening. Yeah, so New York, man. New York is my place. And one thing that I'm getting more into now is cinematography in both video and photography. And I'm in, like, you asked me if Rome or any of those places, gave my creativity something to work with, and the answer is no. When I went to Japan, and like when I went to like Sicily last year and all these other places, I was just so focused on portraits that I didn't really get to enjoy like the scenery as much. It was mostly about the people for me, and I enjoy that. But in terms of like, like crazy, I was like, wow, not really.
Yeah. Now
it's a whole different story. I this past year, dude, I did a big road trip. I actually started around this time last year. I drove from here to New York.
Oh shit.
From New York to Vancouver.
Damn.
From Vancouver to LA back here.
Damn.
That took me a whole year because I did a bunch of trips in between, and I was in New York for 2 months, Vancouver for 2-3 months, and LA for over 2 months ish. And in between, I did a lot of trips.
Yeah.
It took me a few weeks to get from Vancouver to LA, and it took me like a month, or maybe even, I don't know, something, I don't know, month, let's just say month, or a few weeks to get from New York to Vancouver. And again, a lot of trips in between. Rome, Japan, Slovenia. So just a lot of things in between.
But what inspires you the most, and it's constant, is the people.
100%.
Yeah.
The people is, people are everywhere. I never get tired of it.
Yeah.
I love people.
And when you're like, what do you hope, or when you put out a piece of work, like a portrait or something, in your eyes, what kind of what's the energy or what's the vibe it's giving off? Like, what do you think about that, or do you just let it be?
What do you mean?
Like when someone looks at your photos, like what do you think? What kind of emotions do you feel like it invokes, or like maybe what does it do for you?
Yeah. So when I post the videos, I try to find those people with the specific vibe, a little openness about them. Because there's times where you can walk out there and you're just not in the mood.
Yeah.
And there's times where you can just be like open, in a good mood. So I try to find people with that vibe.
Yeah.
With that vibe of openness, with that vibe of just being down for a little shoot. And I've gotten a lot better at like refining my vision and like seeing those things. So I try to go for those vibes that I think are fun, and I just try to put it together and just, I hope, like, I do it for me, and I'm just like grateful that people enjoy it as well. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Um, so yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah. And what kind of have you ever had any like bad experiences, like just approaching people and things
not
like that?
not really.
That's
People
good.
people always ask me, and it's really tough to answer. I mean, I would consider myself a nice guy,
Yeah.
respectable,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like to wrong people or like. And also, I'm a small guy, so I don't come as intimidating.
Yeah.
And I'm always with a big smile, which helps,
Yeah.
ease any tension. Um, so I don't get it. I don't get any like bad, reactions. The worst ones I get and I hate. It's when this mostly happens in New York.
Mm.
When they completely ignore my presence
Oh,
and
okay.
they
Okay.
just ignore me, and I'm like, "Excuse me," and they just don't even say I don't have time or anything. They
Mm.
just walk past me.
Yeah.
I hate those, bro,
Yeah.
with the passion.
I
Like
can
I
imagine.
get it, but it just irks me, bro. When
Yeah.
like you just like, hey, and it just like completely ignore you, bro. I hate that so much. It
Yeah. It's
doesn't happen a
insane.
lot, but maybe it's happened like over this past 3 years, maybe like 5 to 10 times.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember them. Like they suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate them,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm so appreciative of the people that like can't or don't want to, and they're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm like, don't worry. I thank
I
you for
get it.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, no, you gotta do it right now. Have a Glock on me. Nah, bro, nah,
For
fuck that.
real.
But
Yeah. Gunpoint type
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, so like I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just like thankful for your time,
For sure.
and I don't say it, but I'm just in my mind. Have a good day.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So like,
And is there one you've done so many, but is there one that stands out to you that
oh,
like
bro,
you?
it's so many,
Yeah.
bro. I don't think I can answer that one.
Yeah.
When I think of one that stands out, I don't think there's anything that, because I have so many high ones, bro. I have
Yeah.
so many interactions that like I'd need some like a little bit more I'm like ChatGPT. You need to give me some like prompts or something to
Yeah.
like answer that
No, I
question.
feel you.
But yeah, dude,
Hell
so
yeah.
many, so
Yeah.
many.
And being like you've definitely accomplished so much and your platforms are humongous and it seems like you genuinely enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
When you think about the next step and the levels and the goals you have for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what are you striving towards?
A lot is personal, bro. Like
Yeah.
a lot is just like me, refining myself, the procrastination, eliminating that from my life, having a certain lifestyle that I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a person who wakes up at a certain time, is productive. For the longest time, I've been really erratic with my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
There's no structure. I just go with the flow, and I want to change that. I want to be a bit more, I want to have more of a point to my day than
Yeah.
just no point at all. And I really cherish my mindset of being like everywhere, but at the same time, I want a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep like refining my mind. I feel like my mind has been one of my biggest struggles. My mind has, especially when I was younger, it has struggled to, understand things, has struggled to process things. Like my mind's constantly buffering. The reason why I'm able to have somewhat a conversation with you now is because all the reps, all the times that I've talked and failed and made myself embarrassed talking to other people, because I stutter a lot. My words don't come out as fluently as I'd like to. There's like this little lisp sometimes, and I hate it. It's just part of my anatomy, I guess, in my mouth. I don't know, but a lot of things like that I had to like work around and like get better at. So it's just about refining myself, tuning myself into the best version that I can possibly make. And as far as like, I guess, steps in like social media, I really want to get into YouTube. That's been one of my goals ever since I started. It just, again, bro, like
YouTube as far as like vlogging and stuff?
vlogging and,
Okay,
and like
yeah. Because
learning
you already
different
do the
things.
shorts and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So like long form.
Yeah, yeah.
And dude, it's just so hard for my mind to comprehend its steps. And I get so like I get fatigued so fast. My mind, like I I don't know if I still have, but when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD. So my mind is really erratic. Like it gets fatigued if it just stays on one topic for too long. Like I need, like, bro, even when I'm editing, like I edit and then there's just something in me gets like exhausted and like, oh, and then I go and like, okay, I need like a breather. Go on like social media or like listen to something really quick for like a few seconds, a minute, and then go back.
You can go back.
I hate that though. Like you know, and I'm like, I need to eliminate that. I need to get better at it. I don't think, oh, I need this, I need that medication. I think, okay, I'm strong enough. Like us humans, bro, we're strong as heck. We don't give it like ourselves enough credit. Like, bro, we're strong. We can adapt. That's what we're good at. We're good at adapting. And if you give yourself and your body enough time to adapt, it'll adapt. You just have to give it time. And that's I feel like that's what I've done with my whole entire life. It's just adapting and getting better and just trying to fit in is really what I've always tried to do. And I've kind of just like pushed myself into like society, I guess.
Hell yeah. No, I love that, bro. And it seems like, and also like, I think it's great. You especially you know where you want to be and what you want to get better at. And I think with the structure, I feel like that'll come, because I mean we're both still young, and I feel like especially 20s are just like 25.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
And so it's just like I feel like that structure will slowly come. 100%. But also I feel like you're also in a place in your career where you are able to, you know, be a little bit more sporadic because it's you, and like, and you're just kind of, you're growing and you're doing your thing and you're still in the midst of everything. So I mean, that's bad. Do you try to keep a balance? Like, do you like to go out or do anything like that?
No, I don't. No. So that's one of the things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
You know, being raised Christian, you know, believer in God, dude, it's not just that. It's also me being how I am. Like, of course, I grew up, drinking was bad, smoking, all of that stuff is bad. But there's just some people who, even knowing that, are just staring. Like I have a cousin, a few of them who are like daring. They didn't care. You know, they still had the little spurs. I had my little spur, but mine hit like a cap that was like they're normal or like low. You know what I mean? So like I definitely, I was very like, you can call me a scaredy cat. You know what I mean? That's how I was. Very timid. I'm like, oh, I don't want to like this. You know,